All right, welcome back to another Master and Apprentice video/podcast. How you doing today, Afton?
Doing pretty good. How about you, Sammy?
I'm doing great. So with the new Bad Batch episode, season 2, episode 11, straight banger, do recommend myself. We do see the return of the Zillo Beast. With that, a lot of baggage comes with it, a lot of theories. We don't know what is going to happen with it. There's a lot of things why Palpatine wants it, why he's cloning and experimenting on it. So today we're going to make a video kind of quandering on these. But before we do that, we're going to do this video in 2 parts. Part 1, we're going to actually talk about what we actually do know about the Zillo Beast. Part 2 will be the theories and the backing up and the evidence of those theories. But to start us off with, we'll go right to the facts. Part 1.
So we do know that the Zillo Beast is actually a very intelligent beast. It's not just some big rompy animal, kind of like Wrecker in the Bad Batch, where he just doesn't know anything. When it attacked Coruscant, it directly recognized Palpatine and specifically targeted Palpatine no matter where he went. It was smart enough to know what's going on, where to hit certain stuff. It wasn't stupid.
Yeah. Next, we have, as far as we know, it completely originates from Malastare. This is where we see it in Clone Wars. This is the only time we've ever seen it. So as far as we know, it originates from Malastare. We don't know if it's from anywhere else because we haven't seen any evidence, but we do know it originates there.
Another one would be Palpatine has great interest in this beast. This beast is very interesting to a lot of people. However, Palpatine and all his power could just ignore it easily. There's something deeper about it that interests Palpatine specifically.
All right. And then next we know, after the attack on Coruscant and the Zillo Beast was defeated and killed, not Emperor at the time, Chancellor Palpatine had the remains of the Zillo Beast kept and experimented/cloned on even until after the Clone Wars.
So that they were experimented and cloned on specifically in secrecy. He made sure that no one was aware of it. This continued into the Bad Batch, so it wasn't just a project he had and dropped. He made sure that they experimented and learned more about it.
Yeah. The Zillo Beast itself, its armor and scales are impenetrable. We see this especially, blasters, lightsabers, anything that would normally, do damage, blast, the high energy plasma. It's impenetrable. It doesn't do anything to it.
It also feeds off of electricity and grows with power. I don't believe we knew this for a fact in the Clone Wars, but at the very beginning of the Bad Batch episode that just came out, it was growing a lot with all electricity whenever it hit it. It didn't even look like the Zillo Beast at first.
Yep. And we now know Palpatine has an alive beast he has people cloning and experimenting on. He used to have a dead one. He still has that, but now he also has an alive one, and he's seen it in action. And that brings us right to part 2.
So one of the parts of this would be that these are theories, some things that we don't 100% know about it, but these are things that Palpatine could clearly be doing. So this clone was really well made. It wasn't a bad clone that just looked deformed but did the job. It was a very well-made clone that turned out to look exactly like the Zillo Beast. He could be trying to just make perfect genetic copies of the Zillo Beast and release them on planets where he suspects rebels are and just control the galaxy that way. You put one there and all of a sudden the people on the planet might not be dead, but they're living in hiding forever.
Maybe he's trying to make an army, essentially.
Yeah.
Next theory that I have, that's not really too much of a theory. It's kind of what he has said, but I don't think anyone believes it, is maybe he actually does want to create its scales into armor. Maybe he actually does want an army of soldiers, troopers, whatever, that has this impenetrable armor. I personally don't think this is true because there's plenty of materials, like there's Beskar, so maybe he wanted to make armor Beskar. He didn't, so obviously I don't think this was too much of a thing he was driving towards, but it is technically still a theory.
Yeah. In episode 9, the last episode of Star Wars, we see Palpatine use Force lightning up on thousands of Star Destroyers and power every single one of them. So the Zillo Beast grows and feeds on electricity. Potentially, he could have tried to create that genetic whatever that was and put it on his Star Destroyers so they absorb power that way, because otherwise the Force lightning is essentially useless to anything but personal damage.
Yeah. And the last one is the Death Star was Palpatine's baby, right? He started even before the Empire. He wanted to make it indestructible. And in fact, he thought he did. We later see Jalen Erso, secretly put a weakness in it, but that was super important, is to not have a weakness on the Death Star. And maybe this is, because there's nothing saying this isn't, but maybe he wanted to use its armor and scales in the creation of the Death Star, whether it be the armor plating on the outside of the Death Star so no damage can be done. Maybe it's just in the manufacturing, right? Like the framing of it is indestructible, so it can't be blown up from the inside. Maybe that's what he wanted. Maybe he even did, because there's nothing saying he didn't, right? He probably could have. That's my favorite theory. There's a couple other ones. Maybe he just wanted to clone on it and learn its, I guess, biology, just to know it. And when we later see clone himself, maybe he wanted a way to learn, like kind of like what Afton was saying, use some of its abilities, the impenetrable skin or the harness power and make you grow, right? Maybe he wanted it for himself. Who knows? There's a bunch of different fun theories out there. Let us know what you guys think is a fun and probable theory that he wants this, because this is clearly very important to him. He's requested its experimenting and cloning on more than one occasion. And it's a secret. He took a whole village into captivity because he didn't want them to know about it. So obviously this is very important to him. He didn't want the Kaminoans to have anything to do with it, so he blew up their world, and so that their scientists and cloning people had to work for him, right? He obviously does have great interest in it. And yeah, with that, we hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, let us know down in the comments what you guys want to see or happen with this, and what your theories are about, the Zillo Beast and Palpatine's intentions with it. We hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget that download and follow if you're on podcast. If you're on YouTube, don't forget that comment, not download, like, and subscribe. And with that, we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace.